Join me today as we talk about immigration. Are we going to send people home or keep them here to work on farms? I thought we were going to get rid of everybody. Trump has a new Trump Mobile. Phones starting at $4.99. And guess how much the calling plans are going to be? We have ships going out to the Persian Gulf because Iran and Israel ain't getting along right now. And the new crypto legislation, the new bill just passed. And what does that mean for you guys? Stick around. You just might learn something. Welcome to the Eric T Conversation. I'm Eric T. So we're going to get right into it today because there's a lot of information that's out there and I haven't done one in a little bit. So we're going to get right into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about is Iran. Now, this is just my belief of what I think is going on. So I'm just speculating here, but I don't know. It could be accurate. We shall see. So what I think what happened was Trump gave Iran 60 days to agree to the terms that he set forward to them. On 12 midnight, on the 60th day, 12:01, apparently, they didn't agree to the terms. So Israel went ahead and started bombing the heck out of them. And they did it on 61 days. And when Trump was asked about that, he said, well, they didn't die of COVID. And it was precision attacks, pinpoint accuracy that are the weaponry that the United States has given them. I see why they did that. And what I believe, that it's just purely speculation on my part, no facts behind this, but this is just what I feel. I think Trump probably negotiated with Israel and said, hey, listen, on day 61, you can go ahead and let loose on Iran. You have my blessing on that. But this is what I want you to do. And they did it. And they took out the key negotiators that were working with Trump to negotiate the terms that Trump wanted. And those people have been evaporated. They're gone. So now Trump is talking about sending people to Iran. Our military. Trump has sent some aircraft carriers to the Persian Gulf to show some sign of force. Now, I think this is what's happening. I believe Trump laid down the law with Iran. They didn't comply with what he asked them to do to make the deals. They didn't do it. Israel went ahead and did our dirty work for us using our weaponry. And now Trump is showing force by sending some Navy vessels into that area, letting them know, hey, man, we're not messing around. I told you to come back to the negotiating tables, which he asked them they can do now. And let's come up with a conclusion to get rid of any nuclear arms that you have, because that's a no bueno for Iran. Countries like that don't need that because they will use it against everybody else. That's how we feel it. But the problem that I have is that everybody keeps talking about Iran is going to have, they're days away from a nuclear weapon. I've been hearing that for probably 30 years. They are just weeks away. The Bush administration, they're just weeks away. And they're not. They haven't proven it at all. But they can't have one. So now Trump's sending our Navy vessels out in that area to try to strong arm them and let them know we mean business. And it's got everybody upset. And I'm upset about it. The last thing we need is more wars. And I've talked about this many times before. We have no business interfering in these countries. We don't. If Israel wants to go ahead and attack them, that's their business. They're dealing with Hamas. Now they've got Iran on their docket. It's just a perpetuating war machine with Israel right now. And we're funding them. We're giving them the stuff to do it. But now people are thinking we're going to have to go there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Trump is just showing a lot of force by getting everything stirred up. But this is what happens. Every time something happens in the Middle East and it goes boo, gas prices and stock go tanking. Gas goes up, stock market goes down. Gas was here in Florida was $2.83 2 days ago. Now it's back to $3.15. It went up almost 30 cents. This is what I'm talking about with Trump. It's like, listen, man, every time you decide to do something, it completely tanks the market. The gas goes up. It fluctuates everything. And I'm getting a little tired of it. I really am. I would like things to just be steady. Make up your mind already. Now we have a problem with Iran, so now we got to go there, and the stock market feels that, crypto feels that, gas prices go up, which it has nothing to do with us, but everything goes up and then goes down because of these decisions that the Trump administration is doing. It's like, dude, make a decision on something. Say we're not going to get involved and don't get involved. We obviously don't want troops over there. We don't want any conflicts with other countries. I thought that's what he brags about. He brags about he's going to end all these wars. I'll do all these negotiations. Nothing's happened. Nothing. I get it. It's been 6 months in. I thought a lot of this stuff was going to be done months ago. He still can't get it done. Zelensky, there's still Russia and Ukraine are still going at it. Now we got Israel and Iran. Now we got ships out there. I mean, Trump, make up your fucking mind what you're trying to do, because right now what you're doing, I'm not happy about it. And a lot of people aren't. I mean, Tucker Carlson is going off about it. Now, he thinks we're going to have boots on the ground. Not liking Israel isn't saying you don't like Jews, okay? Israel's a country in the Middle East, and they are our allies. So it's not to be against going to war with Israel against another country and saying you don't want to do it. Doesn't make you an anti-Semite. It just makes you someone that doesn't want to go to war. Israel is a country that's having all this turmoil over there. I think we need to wash our hands with it. I absolutely think we need to wash our hands with it. Iran has been trying to get a nuclear weapon for 30 years. They are nowhere close to it. I mean, in my lifetime, I've heard this with every presidency about Iran and nuclear weapons. They're weeks away, and it's not happening. When are we going to turn the page on this? Why don't we just send some inspectors in there that really know what they're doing, who could be honest and evaluate what they got and see if they are coming even close to what they're threatening that they have, or that what we think that they have. Because remember, Netanyahu, I mean, years after the first Gulf War started, he was talking about weapons of mass destruction. And those weren't there either. We didn't find anything over there. We just lost a lot of lives of a lot of men and women that went over there to fight. For what? For nothing. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Now he wants us to go into Iran and help him with that. We don't want to do that. And it affects our economy. Trump is making these decisions, and it's like wishy-washy. It's like the whole migrant thing. So illegals, are they allowed here or they're not allowed here? Because now he's changing his tune. Now he's talking about, well, if you farm or you work in these type of industries, maybe I have to do an executive order and allow some of them to stay, because these farmers are calling me, bitching that they can't do their crops because we're rounding up all the illegals that work on their farms. Hey, listen, how does it work? Do illegals go back to their country, or now you got to make exceptions? I'm like, dude, you're in the third quarter of a football game. Halftime was the last 4 years. You had to think about a new strategy and what you wanted to do. And you came out in the third quarter and you went gangbusters. And all of a sudden, some farmers are calling you complaining that they're losing their people. You know what? These farmers, I'm not really sympathetic, and I'll tell you why. They knew you were going to be president, and they knew what platform you were running on. They should have made it a point to get their people visas, green cards, whatever they need to get in order to be legal and work here in the United States, and not continually paying low wages so they can keep illegals working on their farms. And when you became president and all the immigration stuff started, maybe they should have hired people who are legal. I'm sure there's some Hispanics or some people that do this type of work that will work, that are legal. You got to pay them a little more money, don't you? Yeah, you got to come off the pocketbook a little bit. Yeah, come off that wallet. You got to pay these guys because they're legal. You know, now you're complaining. So now Trump's going to do an executive order allowing some of them to stay. So Nebraska had a meatpacking plant that was gutted by immigration. And just days ago, they had every seat in that place filled with people trying to fill out applications to get a job there. So they're going to recover nicely in this little town in Nebraska. It could be done. But all these people are freaking out and saying that they can't find anybody to work. How about you just advertise some openings and then increase your wages? Because it's happening in Nebraska. They're getting these jobs filled by these people who are illegal that had to leave, and they're filling them with people who are illegal. So it's possible. You just got to look for it and put the job postings out there, and people will come. And I get it. A lot of people saying, well, Trump, he's very flexible. He could, change his mind, kind of makes adjustments. No, man. No. Now, when you tout this for the past 8-10 years about the illegal immigration issue, there are estimates of 11 and 20 million of them that came here in the last 4 years. And now you're making adjustments, and that affects everything again. The price of everything gets affected again. Either you're going to do it and you send them all out of here and let them come back in. You had all this time, Trump, to Trump, you had all this time to make these decisions. You sat and watched for 4 years. You didn't realize that, hey, maybe before you went gangbuster on sending the illegals and deporting people, that maybe you should have had a game plan in place about some of these farmers that have these people that are working for them, They're honorable people that are working. They've been here 10, 15 years. I don't know. Maybe you should have thought about that beforehand. I mean, you're supposed to be the smartest guy in the room, apparently. You're supposed to be playing 40 chess. And right now, you're backpedaling on the immigration stuff because some farmers call you bitching. I find that insulting to the American people that voted for you. And I love a lot of things that you're doing. And I tout you and I praise all the things that you're doing all the time. But this one for me, it's sour grapes. I really am pissed about it. These farmers should have made the adjustments as soon as you became president. They should have realized what was going to happen. Start hiring people, double up your wages. Okay, price of goods go up a little bit, I guess. But at least you don't have to call Trump crying that you don't have anybody farming your land. You should have thought about that. The things like this are just irritating the hell out of me with this presidency. I mean, the stock market's going up and down. Crypto's going up and down. Everything's fluctuating. The tariff war was a shit show. Now that we have a deal with China, we're getting 50% tariffs on them. They're getting 10% tariffs on us. That really didn't make a lot of big news. That didn't move the market at all with that news. This is just complete anarchy right now with going on with the Trump administration. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And there's another issue I have with the Trump people. They just came out with the Trump Mobile. I get it. Eric and Donald Jr. came out with a new company called Trump Mobile. The Trump phones are going to be the T1s. They're going to be $499. They're going to be made in the United States. And their plans that are limited plans and all that gibberish is going to be $47.45. You know, $47.45. Cool gold phone. It's going to be made on the Android network. And that ticks me off. It's like, listen, man, the optics of the Trump people are they dumb? Do they not understand? I get it. They're building on the name brand that they got, okay? Their dad's president of the United States. Trump really has nothing to do with his businesses anymore. I don't think he has anything to do with them. He just is a president. He signed everything over to his sons. But let's be real. Do you think his sons will come out with a mobile phone company and not run it through dad? They absolutely ran it through their dad. And he said, okay. And look, if it was my dad as a president of the United States, maybe I would do something like that too. But the optics are horrible. They're absolutely horrible. I mean, they're coming out with a Trump phone while President Trump is in office. I get it. The phones are going to make it made in the United States. They're going to be affordable for people. I get it. The heart's there. But the optics, like I said, they look terrible. You can't wait till he gets out of office to do that. You have to do it right now when all this other shit's going on. God, I get it. Totally get it. You're doing it. You got a name brand. But at this point in time, just rent your properties. Do some real estate. Stay off creating new products right now. That's just my opinion. I love that they're doing it. They're entrepreneurial. I mean, they came up with a crypto coin, the Trump coin. I didn't like that either. I thought that was in bad taste to do it right when he's got elected. It's these things that are just poorly operated. I just think these things are just poor decision making on doing these. There's already enough garbage that's spewed about the Trump team. And then you do these things. And you just give more gas to put on the fire for the left. Because that's all you're doing. That's all they're going to talk about now is how you guys are doing this. You're building off your name brand. And I get it, man. If it was my dad, I'd probably do the same thing. But Trump people, you got to think about it a little bit. You couldn't wait a few more years till he's out of office. You got to strike where the iron's hot. Exactly what you're doing. And a lot of entrepreneurs are probably like, man, I'll do the same thing. And I get it. But man, it's just one thing after another with these people. Like, dude, enough already. Just be quiet. Go quietly. So we don't have to keep hearing negativity about Trump in the news all the time for all this kind of bullshit that you guys are doing. You know, we got Heinz Ketchup has just announced they're going to start taking artificial flavors and ingredients out of their products. So Maha's doing what they said they're going to do and start making us healthy again. So we need some more positive things like that in our country to try to get all this other anarchy that's going on right now out of people's minds. Let's focus on some of the positive things that are going on. I hope things get clear with the dust. And, you know, maybe I should wait before criticizing it and see what happens. But man, I was so excited. Gas was $2.83 and then someone goes boo in the Middle East and then gas goes up 30 cents overnight. When are the American people going to get a break with this? It's getting tiresome. It really is. I mean, the only positive thing was a Genius Act that came out with Senate. They voted 68-30 on passing that, on the stablecoin legislation. So now it goes to the House and they have their bill and they're going to work on some things and hopefully they can pass it by the August deadline that Trump wants. That's great news. That's the only thing cool and positive that's come out of this administration. And it was the Senate that actually got it done. It was really bipartisan, to be factual about it. Only 30 people voted against it. Probably Elizabeth Warren was one of them. She hates that thing. But these are the issues that I have. I think the whole Iranian thing is going to be over and done with. I really believe Trump is just showing some force and scaring them a little bit. But God, the American people really need this roller coaster to stop. And that's what it is. It is a roller coaster ride with Trump right now. And I'm not a big fan of it. And I said I was going to critique and criticize when I wasn't happy about something. And I really am not. And those are my grievances with the Trump administration right now. You know, they just came out, Kash Patel with the FBI, and he said they have some proof that the C country was actually trying to manipulate and did some things illegally to interfere with the 2020 election. Okay. They got some proof on that. I just discovered. That's interesting. We'll see what comes with that. And when everybody said nothing happened, now we're finding some evidence that some stuff actually happened. Some people actually got fake keys to get mail-in ballots. I mean, there's a whole slew of things, and that's starting to peel off like an onion right now. So we're going to get to the center of that probably in the next week or two and get some real facts of what's going on, that what they're actually finding out. But there was some manipulation. Now we have some proof on that. But as everything else, it's like, man, Americans just want to be happy. They want to make a good living, hang out with their families, maybe go on vacation once in a while, get a job, career, retire, have something to do when they're in their 60s, maybe not have to work so hard. But right now, I'm not feeling any relief. These constant changes that we're seeing just aren't really positive right now. There's a lot of good stuff that's come out. This up and down with the markets. It's just so volatile right now. Like anything else, you're only going to lose money when you take it out. But come on, there are people out right now that need to take it out, but they can't take it out because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I hope things get cleared up here shortly, because I'm at the point where I don't know. I have no excuses anymore what's going on. I mean, the world is still on fire. People are still fighting. And nothing's gotten any better to getting closure than it was 7 months ago. We shall see what happens in the next week or two. I don't think we'll get a boots on the ground, guys. I just think it's just trying to scare them a little bit because they got evaporated in their apartments or their hotel rooms, wherever they were living. That's a wake-up call. Hopefully they come to the table and start negotiating, and need to have it happening soon so things can start quieting down a little bit and people can stop fighting amongst each other, and we can start moving forward and make this country great again.